Hundreds of students in San Jose left classrooms in protest. Stay tuned to find out why.
And it's not only students protesting. There are more groups of protesters around San Jose. See what's going on next.
Learn about some of the biggest issues around the world in the new segment, Spinning Around the Sphere. Coming up.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Angela Nguyen.
And I'm Sophie Cipriano. Voices around the Bay have spoken out against the mass deportations President Donald Trump is calling for. Recently, middle school and high school voices filled the air. Our reporter, Madison Wilbur, is live with more.
Thanks, Sophie. At 1:35 on Friday afternoon, students from Kathleen MacDonald High School and Dolores Huerta Middle School filled the streets, chanting "ICE is not nice." I walked with them to find out why they decided to leave school to do this. Hundreds of middle school and high school students walked out of San Jose schools on Friday to protest against the mass deportations ordered by President Donald Trump. Some of the students in this district say this matter hits close to home.
We are upset about the urgency on deportations of innocent families, and so a lot of people at McDonald are Hispanic and deeply are affected by this, by their hardworking parents, uncles, siblings, everybody.
Makes me emotional because I know how strong my parents have done stuff for me. They've been through a lot, and I'm just proud of how they brought me up. They did everything for me, my little sister now.
While their voices ring loud and tall, some of these students stand at just 13 years old.
I think it's important because we can make a difference regardless of our age, and I feel that it shouldn't just be us saying this. I feel that maybe other people should also spread the word as well.
We're just kids. We're being affected by it. Like, our parents are immigrants. And Trump is saying that he's gonna, it doesn't matter if you're born here, you're gonna go back to your countries.
For several of these students, this is something they had never done before.
Never in a million years I thought I would be help planning a protest, and so these kids brought it to light, and all I did was just flick some switch, clean some walls, and then it happened.
I spoke with many of the students during the walk, and they told me that the reason why they are so vocal is because of how personal this cause is for them. They are afraid for their parents, friends, and frankly, themselves. Live in San Jose, this is Madison Wilbur, Update News.
With ICE activity present in San Jose, many members of the community are outraged and are now voicing their opinions. Our reporter Justin Ray went to their recent protests to find out more.
A large group of protesters marched nearly 1.5 miles down King Road on Sunday to voice their opinions against ICE. They gathered near the Mexican Heritage Center located on King and Alum Rock, following reports of activity of immigration enforcement in San Jose. Since joining office, President Trump has increased ICE activity and removed some restrictions ICE had on arresting members of the undocumented community in sensitive areas such as schools and hospitals. Veronica is an immigrant from Mexico and has not been able to visit her home country since arriving over 20 years ago. I've been in this country for 25 years. We came to this country to fight for our family because everyone has the right to look for the good for our families. We came to work honestly. Thousands of undocumented immigrants are currently fearful about ICE entering their home or workplace and detaining them or even facing deportation. Sharat Lin is a local community activist who is known at these protests as the Dancer of Peace.
It's actually an escalation of the attacks on immigrants that have been happening, over many decades. And so that's why there's a very sharp response from the community, because we stand together.
His monarch butterfly costume is meant to represent freedom and the hope for change within the immigration system.
We want to stand in solidarity with our undocumented immigrant community members. We're demanding no ICE in San Jose, no deportations.
Organizations like the Silicon Valley Immigration Committee are working to educate undocumented individuals about the rights and resources they have. For more information about the rules and regulations on ICE encounters, head to this website. In San Jose, I'm Justin Ray, Update News.
Want to take a trip across the globe? Welcome to my new segment, Spinning Around the Sphere, where I'll be informing you about the major headlines across the globe. Starting the show off, The South African Foreign Ministry addresses U.S. President Donald Trump's freezing of aid to South Africa over a controversial land law signed by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The expropriation law. This new law replaces the Expropriation Act of 1975, which allowed the government to seize private property not in use. The 2024 revision lays out clear compensation outlines and allows only for the seizure of private property for public use. President Trump signed an executive order halting aid to South Africa and establishing a refugee program for Afrikaners, an ethnic group of white European settlers. The ministry writes the executive order is a part of a campaign of misinformation and propaganda and addresses that the refugee status for Afrikaners serves only the most economically privileged. Guatemalan President Bernardo Arevalo recently agreed to accept immigrants deported from the U.S. and Guatemala. In a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Arevalo and Rubio outlined plans for Guatemala to accept a 40% increase in deportation flights from the U.S., even going as far as accepting immigrants from other countries. Arevalo states that the immigrants who are not Guatemalan natives would only be there temporarily and that the U.S. plans on helping Guatemala send them to other countries. There is no specific timeline at the moment. A new joke petition going viral is collecting signatures for Denmark to buy California from the U.S. as a response to President Trump's statements on securing Greenland for the website. A U.S. website called Denmarkification has created a petition suggesting that Denmark should purchase California. This petition has already gotten over 200,000 signatures and includes fake perks for donors to the cause. The website goes on to say, you know what Denmark needs? More sunshine, palm trees, and roller skates. Well, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make that dream a reality. The site also includes the statement, Make California Great Again, across the top of the screen. This concludes Spinning Around the Sphere with Sophie. Be sure to tune in next week for more.
Wow, Sophie, thanks for that. I feel very informed.
You're welcome. There's a lot more to see next week.
Millions of dollars may be given to local newsrooms around California. More on that next.
Plus, the approaching closure of a beloved San Jose business is leaving many upset. Stay tuned to learn why.
Will you need a raincoat this weekend? I'll answer that question coming up next.
A surprising new development at San Jose State University could soon put local journalism in the spotlight. It involves a groundbreaking deal with a global tech company. But what does it mean for our newsrooms? Reporter Mohamed Najimi is live with the story.
In a move that could reshape local journalism, John De La Cruz, director of the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at SJSU, has signed an informal proposal to help manage Google and the state's $125 million investment in local newsrooms. It's not just SJSU managing this fund. Other California state universities are also managing this proposal.
Google and the state have started plans to fund smaller, local, community-based, nonprofit, and underrepresented newsrooms. The proposal is made for California-based news outlets. Outlets that are not California-based are not eligible to receive money from this fund. This proposal had initially been given to UC Berkeley, but was rejected in January, a move that blindsided faculty, according to the San Jose Spotlight. It's currently in the beginning stages and hasn't been finalized.
I would say I want to go to the students. I think towards equipment room and towards our studio, obviously I would love to see like money just being thrown at that. There's more tools for the students, more resources.
The proposal gives SJSU and other CSUs the decision on where the funds are being dispersed. Some people are hesitant about the fund because the money is being invested by Google. Others believe this will have a positive impact on newsrooms.
Getting an investment like this could help for when it comes to teaching and funding and just getting students equipment to be able to produce news.
De La Cruz believes SJSU is within the community, not outside, and that SJSU's involvement is important.
To the point where we felt it was better for us to be involved in this than to just allow maybe another private organization to kind of be making those decisions.
De La Cruz also says that student journalists should be a part of the San Jose community and contribute to truth-telling. Serna and Rupana both believe this will be beneficial for newsrooms and that it'll improve journalism as we know it.
As this partnership takes place, the hope is that it will strengthen the future of journalism in California, one story at a time. As the story unfolds, Update News will be sure to keep you updated. Live in San Jose State, I'm Mohamed Najimi, Update News.
A local roller rink announced it will be closing its doors to customers at the beginning of March. I went to find out more about how residents are feeling about the upcoming change. Aloha Fun Center has provided a space to roller skate for all members of the community. Some customers feel strongly about its decision to shut down after 6 years at Eastridge Mall. Local resident Kelly Lowe has been taking skating lessons at the rink for over a year.
The community is great, and I'm just sad that it's closing, but we're still keeping close contact with each other.
Lowe emphasizes the meaningful relationships that she has built with the center's community. She hopes that others are able to visit the center and help it remain as a staple attraction in the Bay Area. New customers are shocked about its sudden departure. This is Ing and her husband's first time taking lessons at Aloha. She highlights how bittersweet it is to have recently found out about the rink.
It's sad because there's not a lot of roller skating rinks, particularly in the area that we're from, in Hercules.
They hope to come back before its closing date on March 9th. Aloha Fun Center's owner, Liz Ruiz, is thankful for the continuous support from the community for over 6 years.
Being able to provide that space for people, it's really what I loved about the rink growing up, and being able to have that continued is really a joy.
Until then, they'll remain open at Eastridge Mall for all roller skaters.
Weather's been pretty rainy this week, Angela.
I agree. My boots have been pretty soaked.
So people, get out your umbrellas and let's take a look at your weather forecast with Mohamed Najimi.
My name is Mohamed Najimi, and welcome to the first weather forecast of the spring 2025 semester. Let's get right into it. We'll be seeing a lot of rain in the middle of the week with an increase of wind pressure, so be sure to have an umbrella with you wherever you plan on going. There'll be heavy rain at the start of the weekend, especially near the mountains. This might come as a surprise. Heavy snow can be expected at times as well for the Sierra into Friday, but it should clear up on Saturday. The most rain should hit the Santa Cruz Mountains, seeing a max of 3.5 inches, as San Jose sees almost 2.25 inches of rain spanning from Wednesday night to Friday afternoon. If we look at the extended outlook for the weekend, the rain should change into showers on Friday with another rain chance later in the weekend, although rain total should be much lower versus what we'll receive on Thursday. As we skip and splash onto the 7-day forecast, Santa Cruz shows rain on Thursday and Friday with better forecasts in the weekend and the start of next week, with temps being near the 60s at the highest. If we skip to Oakland, temps stay the same. Temps stay the same as 60 in the highest, with rain on Thursday and Friday and cloudy weekends. If we skip to San Francisco, stays the same. Thursday and Friday rain, cloudy weekends with around 60s at the highest. Throughout the Bay Area, the weather temps stay the same, although San Jose does get a little hotter, with it being a mid-60s at the highest, but there is still rain on Thursday and Friday and cloudy weekends. This has been your weather forecast. Back to the desk.
We'll have more for you when we come back.
Plans to bring new entertainment to a San Jose park are moving along. Find out what's in store.
And love is in the air at San Jose State. Find out what students are planning for Valentine's Day on this week's State of the Spartans. Coming up.
The city of San Jose had advanced a plan to introduce Downtown Music Pavilion at St. James Park. They'll happen via a three-party agreement with the Friends of Levitt Pavilion San Jose and Levitt Foundation. Reporter Larry Larkin has more on the story.
This is St. James Park in downtown San Jose, where the city of San Jose has plans for a music pavilion. The San Jose City Council unanimously authorized negotiations last Tuesday for a three-party operating agreement to bring a future downtown concert venue to the park.
The long-discussed Levitt Pavilion represents a huge step forward in elevating both the built environment of the park and the liveliness of activations that will bring new energy and foot traffic in the foreseeable future.
The plan is to bring music to a park that is currently underutilized.
Our mission is to bring free live music and the arts to this community.
We believe that being a good neighbor is an extremely important policy, and we're committed to work with everyone in the neighborhood.
When the project is complete, the Levitt Foundation will provide 50 free family-friendly concerts.
We are all about creating places where everyone is welcome, where people of all ages and all backgrounds can come together through the power and the joy of free live music.
The Levitt Pavilion deal was supposed to be signed in 2022, but a lawsuit over impacts to neighboring historic Santa Clara Club building halted those plans. Some officials believe the music pavilion could improve the park.
So we envision it to enliven the park, to activate the park, and provide a new amenity that the park doesn't currently have.
The developers plan to hold a partial concert season while the pavilion is undergoing construction throughout May 2026. The first full season of 50 concerts isn't expected until 2027. In San Jose, Larry Larkin, Update News.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Soon, hearts, flowers, and love will fill the air. Our reporter Gabriel Evans found out what SJSU students have planned for the holiday in this week's State of the Spartans.
So for the upcoming Valentine's, we're actually gonna do Galentine's. So we're probably gonna go to one of our sister's house. She probably gonna host something like we're gonna hang out, grab some snacks, food together, and just like spend a night together.
So my plans for Valentine's Day are movie and dinner. It's pretty simple, but I mean, hey.
My plans? Hopefully my dad is coming to see me and we're gonna watch the new Captain America movie.
Our plans is honestly to work. We're both gonna be working that day, but we plan on spending Saturday together. I plan on taking her out to dinner and just spending the rest of the day we have to ourselves, you know?
Nothing. We're gonna take her out to dinner at RH Rooftop in Marin, and then gonna finish the night with a spa and massage at a place in Palo Alto.
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
From all of us here, thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on our socials at SJSU Update News. We'll see you next week.